Left-footed. Flexible and combative central midfielder. Spanish. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect number 8. But Mikel accidentally added an extra ingredient into the concoction. Dual winning specialist. Thus Mikel found his Mikel.
Sorry. Arsenal have just announced the signing of Euro 2024 winner Mikel Merino, and it's time for us all Arsenal fans to get excited. Everyone except Lee Gunner.
You're a dumb prick.
He was in his last year of his contract at Sociedad, and we tried to get him in a seemingly cut price deal, but unfortunately we ended up paying approx 30 to 35 mil, including add-ons. He's 28 years old. He's 6'2". He's Spanish, and he seems to be just the guy we need in our midfield. When I say Mikel Merino, two things pop to my mind. One, his time at Newcastle. Two, the Euro goal celebration. Merino's dad, Angel Merino, was playing for Osasuna when he ran around the corner flag after scoring at the Stuttgart Arena in 1991. 33 years later, for his son to recreate that celebration at the same stadium, at the same arena, in such a huge occasion is a very, very cool moment. But who's Mikel Merino? आइए जानते हैं. Merino was born in a footballing family. His father, Angel Merino, and his dad's elder brother, Julian Merino, were both professional footballers. Angel Merino played for Osasuna and Celta Vigo as a central midfielder, whilst Julian played for Leganés as a defender. Born in June 1996, Merino came through the ranks of Amigo and Osasuna, and by January 2015, he had already broken into the first team and handed the number 8 jersey. In the 15-16 campaign, Merino scored 4 goals from 34 appearances as Osasuna finished 6th and reached the promotion playoffs. Borussia Dortmund, led by Thomas Tuchel at that time, came calling in February 2016 for 3.75 to 4 million approximately, and Merino ended up signing a 5-year contract with the German Giants. Alongside him was fellow teenager Alexander Isak, who would go on to take a similar path: Dortmund, Sociedad, and Newcastle. Merino played a single year in the Bundesliga, and it's fair to say that the move was ill-timed as there was a huge surplus of midfielders at the Borussia Dortmund team. They had players like Nuri Sahin, they had Bender, Shinji Kagawa, Julian Weigl, Gonzalo Castro, ये सब थे वहाँ पे. So minutes were obviously tough to come by, and his only 2 starts for Dortmund were actually at LCB and CB, once in a back 2 and once in a back 3. The club then went on to win their 4th DFB Pokal, and the team had some known faces in the form of Socrates and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But Merino got only a mere 20 minutes in all of that competition and only tallied a total of 8 appearances and 298 minutes in the league. Not much game time, and he was eventually loaned out to Newcastle United for the next season with an obligation to buy. So Merino's time at Newcastle was meh, but he made about 25 to 30 odd appearances for the Magpies, and he was eventually sold to Real Sociedad for 10 million in 2018. In his last 6 seasons with Real Sociedad, he has amassed a total of 242 appearances and scored 27 goals. Several consistent performances later rewarded him with a place in the La Liga Team of the Season 2022-23. Fun fact, Mikel Merino became one of the 12 players who won both the youth and the senior Euro titles alongside his teammates Nacho, Ferran Torres, Alvaro Morata, and Rodri. So now the question is, why Mikel Merino? Why did Arteta go for Mikel Merino? The reason is simple. So Merino is almost 6'2", 6'3", which is about the same height as Calafiori, and his big frame often draws comparisons with Adrian Rabiot, Goretzka, and more importantly, Granit Xhaka. It's a known fact that Arteta puts a big emphasis on wanting his players to win all of their duels, be it aerial, be it on the ground, and the Real Sociedad man is practically guaranteed to do that. Why? Because he's a duel winning specialist. Simple as that, period. अगर ये डेटा देखोगे तो यहाँ पे you can see that Merino won a 326 duels last season with battles over the ball, both in air and on the ground taken into account. No other player in the Europe's major divisions could match him. कुछ players के aerial skills are situation dependent, but Merino looks elite in almost all of them. He's strong, he's smart with his positioning, He jumps high, he's tall, he's feisty, he has a good technique, and his teams, be it Spain or Sociedad, they constantly use him as an outlet. Here's Spain using him to generate a simple flick on. He's a bit like Ivan Toney, but he does not win every single header, but almost wins every situation. And box mein, I'm very impressed with his ability to generate power from far away, and he can also hit it from outside the 6-yard box, offering all of us another Gabriel Magalhaes type का threat from corners and set pieces. So ये तो हो गया उसका aerial prowess. तो ही इज एन एरियल मॉन्स्टर, ये तो हमको पता है. बट सिंस आई मेंशन्ड duel winning specialist, look at this tackle. This is Mikel Merino passing and ripping apart Dumfries, who isn't slow by any means, all the while making sure the ball is still in play. According to FBref stats, Merino averaged 2.89 touches in the opposition penalty area last season, putting him in the 93rd percentile of all midfielders. So practically he can be relied upon to push forward and support at least major of the Gunners' attacks. In the middle of the park, Declan Rice is perhaps one of the best number 6s in world football, and he is the main man who is primarily trusted with the job of protecting our back four. Merino के आने के बाद Declan Rice को हम लोग थोड़ा rotate भी कर सकते हैं. We can give him a much needed rest, because last few seasons he has been playing every single game. He played for West Ham in their Conference League winning season, and then last season हम लोग के लिए he almost played every games. He played in the UCL, he played in the Cups, he played for England in the Euros. He definitely needs a rest, and with Merino we have that option of rotating with Declan Rice if required. साथ में भी खेल सकते हैं as a double pivot. The possibilities are endless. Merino का one of the most reliable fact ये है कि he is consistent. He will guarantee you a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 performance week in, week out. So which practically makes him a manager's delight. He's highly communicative. He's never lazy on the pitch. He runs around. वो थकता भी नहीं है इतना. I've also seen him with the captain armband at Sociedad. So he's a bit of a leader as well. Build-up play में he's a bit of a minimalist. वो ज़्यादा touches नहीं लेता. He does not dwell on the ball, and he's regularly moving. He's thinking. He's pointing out options, and he's also happy to draw a foul deep. One of the other traits that I like of Merino is he would turns पे ना, especially in transitions, उसको जो ball मिलता है ना, he receives the ball in transitions and he makes the right decisions. He's a fluid turner, does not hold on to the ball and gets the play going. 10 to 15-yard pass is practically his bread and butter. He makes a lot of underlapping runs. So with Calafiori and Martinelli, you could actually see something interesting happening. He won't play the Hollywood pass very often. वो 40-yard वाला 50-yard वाला pass वो नहीं करता है. And he's not much of a ball carrier as well. So when you see Declan Rice या even Calafiori to that extent, if you see these two marching forward with the power run, the Merino will be expected to drop deep to man the space left behind. And उसके प्रीमियर लीग का टाइम्स है ना, with his experience with the Newcastle, उसने कुछ तो सीखा तो होगा. It's not as if उसने कुछ नहीं सीखा है वहाँ से. So he's highly focused on cutting out the unnecessary pass. He's always scanning, he's always pointing, he's always demonstrating empathy and obviousness to his teammates, dropping into the right pockets and generating third man runs. दिखने में basic लगता है, but it's highly effective. और जब lower block हम लोग face करेंगे ना, तो he can transpose his earlier experience as a left center back by falling back there whenever needed. So this will actually get interesting when you consider the rotations with Calafiori and Declan Rice. And this is actually when his passing range looks good, to be honest. Another advantage that Merino has is कि वो पहले से खेला हुआ है with Martin Odegaard. So the 2020 Copa del Rey tournament which he won with Martin Odegaard, he was the man of the match. He played the full 90 minutes of that final, delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, against Bilbao, assisting Porto, who was brought down in the box at the hour mark, and Oyarzabal ने convert करा था वो spot kick, and Merino was named the player of the match. जब ball आगे जाता है ना, in the final thirds, he excels in link-up play. So here's a clip that will make you happy. This is Mikel Merino combining with Odegaard to rip up a block. One touch, the pair moving defenders every which way, pushing things forward, aces. When Merino knocked out Germany in Germany, he proved that he's the man for the big occasion. He proved that he can actually step up when the chips are down. This is what every team needs. A man with a character, a man with a stature who can step up when your team is not clicking or your team is not able to break down opponents. Uska ball recoveries in the attacking third is something to watch out for. So last year Arsenal had a solid claim as one of the best out of possession sides in the world, though there were other contenders. So this year the plan is to actually take some of the minutes given to Zinchenko and Kiwior and Jorginho and hand them over to the likes of Calafiori, Timber and Merino. ठीक है, एम्बुलेंस बुलाओ भाई, हम लोग के लिए नहीं. I mean, it's no coincidence that this team was struggling in December, है ना? Fixtures pile up हो रहे थे. Odegaard was looking tired. Ben White was carrying a knock. Declan Rice could not be rested. Saka was carrying a knock. And then जब थोड़ा time off मिला, they came back electric. 2024, you know how the form has been for us. ऐसे situations में a flexible, trusted midfielder would do wonders here. We needed somebody in that advanced Xhaka वाला role, and Kai Havertz ने try करा वहाँ पे, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So this is a win-win. Cons में I found one thing, which is he fouls a lot. उसका foul stats is like 2.54 fouls per 90 minutes, and उसको कम करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो it will be a trouble for us. So am I happy? Yes. Did we need him? Yes. Was he the only option available in the market? Perhaps no. Mikel Merino मेरा पहला preference नहीं था. But we badly need midfielders. Thomas Partey is looking slightly shaky, and उसका fitness record भी इतना convincing है नहीं. And we have loaned out Lokonga. We have released Elneny. So we badly need midfielders. नहीं तो और बचा कौन? Jorginho, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Rice तो start करेगा, and Jorginho and Partey you cannot rely on them to be fit for the majority of the season. And it's going to be a long season with no winter break, with the new UCL format as well. So all in all, if Arteta trusts him, I trust him. It's as simple as that. Alright? So on that note, I will see you soon in the next video. Until then, come on you gunners.